Welcome to the National Labor Relations Board. In this brief video, we will share information about who we are and what we do. In addition, we will outline possible career paths to consider, as well as some of the many benefits of working at the NLRB. The mission of the National Labor Relations Board is firmly grounded in the National Labor Relations Act of 1935. This assures employees the right to organize for collective bargaining purposes if they should so desire, and to remedy unfair labor practices by unions and employers. Now that you know a little bit about what we do, let's discuss who we are. The National Labor Relations Board is an independent federal agency made up of mostly attorneys. We are headquartered in Washington, D.C., and have 26 regional offices located nationwide. Our various attorneys, field examiners, and other staff have the responsibility of conducting investigations, hearings, litigating cases, holding fair elections on behalf of complainants, and making sure that unfair labor practices in the private sector are identified and remedied according to the law. To be successful in its Herculean task, the NLRB employs attorneys across the country. Only about 1/3 of NLRB's attorneys are employed in our Washington, D.C. headquarters. This means opportunity may exist right where you are. You might be wondering what a typical day may look like. Depending on your office location, your work assignment might include writing board decisions, appellate briefs, or even drafting legal advice memoranda. However, much of the work we perform takes place in the field, where you may be called upon to represent our general counsel as you investigate charges of unfair labor practices. When violations of the National Labor Relations Act are found, you might assist in resolving or litigating those cases. Finally, you could easily be called upon to conduct an election or perform as a hearing officer in contested representation matters. All in all, a career as an NLRB attorney can be exciting and extremely fulfilling. Another group of professionals also make up the majority of our field office staff. These are the field examiners. Serving as a field examiner means that you often provide the first impression of the agency to the public. It's a huge responsibility, given that your duties require you to work directly with employees, unions, and employers. You help to administer and enforce the National Labor Relations Act by investigating charges of unfair labor practices and making recommendations as to which actions should be taken to remedy the violations. You will also conduct elections and act as hearing officers. If you're ready for a challenge, the field examiner position may be exactly what you're looking for. With so much taking place at headquarters and across the country, the NLRB depends on its professional administrative staff to ensure the agency runs smoothly and efficiently from day to day. While these roles serve mainly behind the scenes, they play a pivotal part in the agency's success. If the administrative field is of interest to you, here are some areas to consider: human resources, finance, procurement, information technology, security, library service, and there are others. If you're beginning to see a career at the NLRB as exciting and meaningful, you may want to consider the path you'd like to pursue. At this point in our presentation, I'd like to share just a little about the National Labor Relations Board senior leadership. The NLRB is led by two governing entities, the 5-member board and the general counsel. The board primarily acts as a quasi-judicial body in deciding cases on the basis of formal records in administrative proceedings. Each board member is appointed by the President of the United States and is confirmed by the United States Senate. They each serve a 5-year term based on their appointment, with one board member's term ending every year. Next, serving independently from the board is the General Counsel, or GC. The GC is the top attorney of the agency and is responsible for the investigation and prosecution of unfair labor practice cases, and for the general supervision of the NLRB field offices in the processing of those cases. The GC is also appointed by the President of the United States and serves a term of 4 years. As we near the end of this presentation, let's consider just some of the many benefits available to employees of the NLRB. At the NLRB, we believe that a well-trained workforce with access to modern learning methods and material are the backbone of a well-run agency. To that end, training and career development is a top priority. Making sure employees are fairly compensated for the work they do is also important to NLRB leadership. Rest assured, your excellent performance and years of service can go a long way towards career progression and salary growth. On the other hand, money isn't the only factor when considering benefits. What's the point of having a great income if you never have time to enjoy it? At the NLRB, you will enjoy a generous mix of vacation and sick leave along with federal holidays. And as your years of continuous service increases, so too will your vacation and sick leave. If you happen to use public transportation to commute to work, the transit subsidy is a great benefit to consider to help save money. And speaking of savings, as a federal employee, you will be able to participate in a myriad of financial benefits, including the Thrift Savings Plan and more. In case you haven't noticed, the cost of health and life insurance is on the rise and gets more expensive as you age. Fortunately, government health and life insurance will provide an affordable option to products offered to the general public. Not only will you have a multitude of programs from which to choose, the government will pay a large portion of the premiums. And while you may not be concerned about long-term care options today, it is comforting to know that if and when the time comes, your federal service has qualified you to take advantage of the programs available that meet your needs. Well, that's all we have to share for now. Hopefully, this brief overview has given you a better insight as to what the NLRB is, what its employees do, where you might fit, and just some of the benefits that await you. If you would like more information about career opportunities at the National Labor Relations Board, contact an NLRB recruiter using one of the methods shown on the screen. On behalf of everyone at the National Labor Relations Board, we wish you much success in your career. And remember, if you're ready to make a difference, we invite you to join our team.